All right, can you hear me?
You can hear me. I got you good. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Saturday Night Snake Talk. And I have a special guest in the house, Wild Boy Dev.
What up, babe?
Dev, what is going on, man? So it's really cool to have people in the house and be able to chat. So as always, guys, hit us with super chats. You can hit me. You can hit Dev. We'll be talking about a bunch of different reptiles. And again, it's just a chat with a guy you're relatively local in the area, which is nice.
Yes, sir. Right
we met because you had brought a king cobra in.
Yeah, Taco.
Taco, the red-faced king cobra.
Yeah, so Taco is amazing, and been a couple times. It's getting bigger now. How big is Taco now?
She's over 5 feet now, which is like, we was out here the first time I brought her out was September of last year.
Yeah.
Bring her back out this year. Hopefully, we'll bring her back out this year in September.
Yeah.
And she should be around like 7 feet by the time.
Wow, it's amazing. I tell you what, it's crazy to think how much it is, and I know you work with her a tremendous amount
every day,
every single day.
Every day.
I mean, it's so it's a pretty placid king cobra, but it's still a king cobra.
Still a king. No matter what, I tell people, and when I post my pictures or videos of me working with that snake, man, I'm constantly saying, do not try this at home. This is not something that you just wake up one morning and be like, just grab a king cobra by the body and just pick it up and get the free handling. No, it was. You got to use common sense when you're working with things like that. So.
And so what was your inspiration to get a king? I mean, what made you want to get a king and stuff like that?
When I was probably 6 years old or so, I went to the Detroit Zoo.
Okay, yeah, I remember they had that giant king,
that was the first time I seen a king cobra. And ever since then, it was like I fell in love with them. King cobras, gaboon vipers. I fell in love with reptiles right then and there.
Yeah.
And I was watching Steve Irwin just like everybody else, Jack Hanna, growing up. And it was just an amazing experience. So over the years, just constantly just watching them and seeing how they operate. But to now actually own one is completely different than seeing one at a zoo or seeing one inside of a book or on TV. It's just absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Well, they're such a smart animal. Again, I've worked with a number of them from all over the world when I've traveled, and they are definitely the king of snakes. I mean, I always say they're the king.
Absolutely. Watching a king cobra function as compared to a retic is nothing. There's no comparison to it. It's just
it's really crazy. I mean, you can see the intelligence in their eyes. You can think they're thinking constantly. They're trying to figure out stuff. They're amazing. And I had the pleasure of being in Indonesia with some of the snake handlers
I saw
there.
You kissing one on the back of the head.
Kissing one on the back of the head.
Crazy.
And those guys, it was interesting because these are the Indonesian snake show guys, and they I saw their show 3 times. And I'd say the show, they had 2 different king cobras that they would use. They kind of alternate through them and stuff like that. And even if one just wasn't performing, they would switch out to the other one, because they wanted a lot of mock charges. They wanted strikes. They wanted
one that's too exhausted. It can't
one's just a little bit tired, so they would keep it off to the side. But so you could probably even make a little bit of the argument of like, are those shows good for the animals, because they're stressing the animals a little bit. They're doing, but that being said, I had tremendous respect for those guys because I tell you what,
they're putting their life on the line.
Oh my gosh,
single day.
And I'm telling you what, Dev, no less than 3 times every show, I thought one of them got bit. That's how close it was. I mean, literally to the point where it would strike, and I go, "Did he get bit?"
Yeah.
Jeez. I mean, and we're talking every show. I watched 3 shows that day, and every one of the shows,
thought somebody was bit.
I thought someone got bit. That's how close they were. It was incredible.
It's a dangerous game.
And those were 14, 15 footers. I mean, so that's mock charge is a 3 or 4 foot mock charge.
And sometimes it could possibly be 5 foot.
Exactly.
Lunging out at you. So you got a 15, 14 foot king cobra that can stand up at 6 feet tall. He's looking you dead in the face like.
Yeah,
that's intimidating.
That's intimidating. We even just had a monocle out
just the other day.
Yeah, just a couple days ago with Bruce. Bruce's Jasmine, and that animal is 4 foot. I'd say,
roughly.
4 foot. And I mean, it stood up a foot and a half in the air.
Right.
I mean, it's it's
tall.
I mean, just stood up and perfectly good. So again, I know Clistia dropped a super. If anyone else has any supers for myself, Deb, we can talk about any snakes. We can talk about kings. We can talk about venomous snakes. We can talk about social media. We can talk about whatever you guys want. So hit us up in the supers, please. Keep us going, and that's how this game works. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, Clistia just said sending love, and we love
Thank
you,
you.
Clistia.
We love
you.
you too. We appreciate you too. And like I said, it's obviously, I mentioned I just reached out to you yesterday because I was talking. I think that over the last couple of weeks we said, hey, we really want to start having guests on. We want to start having guests on the podcast. We will still probably have like maybe once a month a solo Jay and myself.
That's right.
Podcast, but the other time we want to have people on the just because. People don't want to listen. I mean, some people might want to listen to me talk, but a lot of people don't want to listen to me talk every week. I mean, I've got lots of stories, but I run out of them, and there's only so many things I can say. So getting a chance to learn about other people. And, the reason I thought of you yesterday was because, I think a lot of podcasts want to have like the biggest names in the business on and stuff. And I kind of almost want to go the opposite, at least for now, where it's like, people that maybe don't know anything about you will find out about you, learn about your passions and stuff that. And obviously, you've got the shirt Taco Tuesday
That's
on.
it, baby.
Yeah, Taco
Tuesday, baby.
So again, she's about a year old now.
She is, what's this? This is June. She is 18 months.
18 months old. So yeah, it's already getting almost 5 foot. It's pretty amazing. Matter of fact, yesterday we went to Ohio Fish Rescue.
Right.
And
Jay was just telling me about it.
Yeah, it was so cool. And
much fun.
They had an Arapaima fish that literally was 6 inches and it was 2 years old, and it was like 5 foot. A 5 foot long
at
fish
2 years old.
At 2 years old. I mean, it was pretty absolutely incredible. So it's just wild how some of these animals can grow at a rate.
In the new Reptarium, are you going to put Arapaimas in there?
I don't know. So don't get me wrong. I was just on the phone literally before we jumped on the podcast with a friend of mine that does tanks.
Right.
And, I'm still trying to source out what we're going to do. You know what I mean? Like, I think that it's like I told him, I don't think we'll have the jelly tank that's going to be small, or we'll have, a couple tanks here and there. Yeah. But most of our tanks, I think like the smallest tank we're going to have is like 1,000 gallons.
Okay.
It's like the smallest tank I want is like 1,000 gallons. And I think that most of our tanks will go from 1,000 to 4,000 gallons. But we will have, obviously the Ray tank that'll be, 8,000 gallons, something like that. Maybe even more than that. I don't even know
I think it might even be more.
Yeah, it might be more because it's probably more. I don't know how to calculate 29 by 23 by 6.
No, but we'll figure it out. Somebody hit me in the comments.
Yeah, hit us up in the comments what you got there. But an Arapaima needs, they're going to get 9 foot.
Right.
So it probably... I don't even know if a 4,000 gallon tank is big enough. Now if we had, the Ray tank would be big enough, but of course they're freshwater, and the Rays are going to be a marine fish, the ones we're going to go with. We will have freshwater Rays too, but not in the big tank. So I don't know if I have enough space for an Arapaima, to be honest. As much as I'd like to, it'd be a dope animal. Yeah. Really cool animal to display. And I'm not going to say we aren't going to, because we might have some sort of...
You never know.
Yeah, I mean, ideally what you would want with that is a low tank that's maybe like 4 foot that is uncovered, and you would have to have someone standing there all the time, though.
Right.
But then you could do feedings where it explodes.
Just explode.
And that would be...
Jumping out of the water, smacking the water.
Yeah. So boom!
Splash.
It's so loud.
Yeah,
I was so unexpected. I got taken by surprise with that. Yeah. It was crazy.
Of course, our buddy Paul Cafaro had did you see his video?
I saw the video.
That was like the most viral video that anyone's ever done as far as animals go. I mean, that video had to get hundreds of millions of views across social.
Smacked in the face by.
Yeah, and it was as soon as I saw that video that came out like 2 months ago, and for those of you guys that haven't seen it, it was Paul Cafaro puts a shrimp in his mouth, blindfolded, goes down, and as soon as he touches the water, the Arapaima, and what happens as soon as you breach the water, the Arapaima explodes, and it explodes and smacks him in the face. And I think it was like kind of fake that he got knocked out. I don't think he actually got knocked out. I think it was
in the longer video.
He explains it. Yeah,
it was popped back up. He was like, "No, I'm just kidding." So.
But it was a great acting. It was
wonderful.
The whole thing was like, I mean, when it was cut, when it looked like he was actually knocked out. I think that's ultimately how he got onto Joe Rogan, was because Joe thought he got knocked out.
Yep.
Didn't see the long form, and that thing just went freaking viral as could be. So it was definitely wild.
Hey,
But
Air Primus got them one-hitter quitters, baby.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, it's I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm not going to discount anything right now. We're still in the very early stages of trying to figure this whole thing out. You know,
I mean, like you said, you just never know. You didn't think you were going to be here. So,
and just as much as I'm excited, don't get me wrong, just as much as I'm excited about the aquarium, and I am, I'm also excited that we're going to probably be able to add somewhere about 5,000 square foot to the reptarium. Okay. So that's a lot more reptiles that we can do. Like building the exhibits for Salt and Pepper and RJ and stuff like that.
It's gonna be crazy.
Get you a pied alligator next.
Yeah, well, I talked to Greg Graziani, my boy that produces the albinos and black ones, and he does have a bunch of pieds. He said he's 2 years out. Yeah, 2 years out before. That doesn't mean other pieds won't come available. And if anyone does come available, I would love to jump on it. But you're right now there's just no pieds available, unfortunately. So, so what's your plan? So tell me a little bit. We hung out quite a few times. You've been to the Reptarium, but I don't really know much about you as a person. Like, what other reptiles you keep? I know about your king cobra and stuff like that. I know you have a bunch of stuff.
I have quite a few. I have retics. I have a West African gaboon viper, 2 alligators. I just recently picked up a Nile monitor not too long ago at the Taylor Expo.
Yeah.
He's amazing for a Nile monitor that's already tamed.
Yeah.
Almost 4.5 feet long.
Wow, nice.
Beautiful.
Really tame already, huh?
Yeah, he's tame. Just
we could use some help on the chicken strip over here.
Kidding, go in there and I can feed him and then turn back around and rub him on his head and he doesn't have any type of reaction.
we obviously have had Niles that have been good, but most of them, chicken strip's a monster.
It's chaos every time.
Zeke will let you do whatever. He just don't like being picked up for the most part. But outside of that,
bigger monitors are like that,
Also, I have a Asian water monitor, still young. He's about 2.5 to 3 feet right now.
Okay.
And then we have quite a few bearded dragons. We have a clutch of bearded dragons getting ready that I'm waiting to hatch out right now.
That's cool. Is this your first clutch?
Second.
Second clutch.
So we have 16 eggs that we're incubating right now. So we're just waiting for all of those to hatch out and get them out there.
That's nice. So, that's dope, man.
And we have Toke Gecko.
Oh my gosh, Toke. We were just talking about Tokes the other day, like how
I love that, man.
As a matter of fact, did you say that the guy that's coming does Tokes?
Yes, I think that's right.
So
I think that's correct.
So next week I think we have someone that's coming in that'll be the guest. Do you remember who it is?
If I had my phone, I would be able to help my phone.
Yeah, your phone's right. Yeah, his phone is destroyed.
Destroyed
his phone.
On, man. You gotta get another one.
You know how we do. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. But so I unfortunately I was out of the loop. So we have a guest coming next week. I can't wait to learn more about him as well.
Hell yeah,
because I don't know who it is. But he works with Tokes, but I think he's working with mutations and stuff like that. Or Tokes.
Yeah, that's what we were trying to find, but it was so hard trying to find the different mutations of them and. Especially the ones that are here in the States. Like, we find a bunch of them overseas, but as far as in the States,
Kevin's doing a couple things again. I think that he out at Nerd, he had a pretty good colony of Tokes for a while, and then I think something happened and he lost a bunch of them. And I think he went a couple years with having a few, but not really messing with the colony. Right. And I think that the last time I spoke with him, he was like started it up pretty heavy. And I think they had like leucistics and pieds and albinos and the solid blue ones and stuff like that. So I think Kevin is working on it, and just like everything, he socialized.
If I'm not mistaken, there's the Black Reptile group that I'm a part of. I believe there's a member in there who has.
I'm a part of that too.
Yes, you are. He really is. He really is.
He invited me in, man. I love it.
Brian's invited to the barbecue, bro.
Invited to the barbecue.
Happy Juneteenth, man. Happy Juneteenth, my man.
Love you.
But I think she does a couple of different mutations of them.
Okay.
So, but she hasn't started to breed them yet. But I believe she has a couple different mutations. So
I love the powder blue ones. Jay, can you punch up powder blue Toke Gecko? I mean, these things are legitimately like ridiculous.
Oof.
Yeah, look at that. So there's look at that, man.
Jeez.
Oh. And of course, this picture within the hand, the one that's
one?
in the middle.
This one right here.
That one right there. That's probably the most famous Toke Gecko picture ever.
Are you for real?
Like, I mean, you see that picture like every time you
you Google it.
I mean, it's like that picture was the picture that like took the internet by storm. I mean, again, it's on Pinterest. It's all over Instagram. But it's probably been like 5 years since that picture came out. But for the first year or so after that picture came out, I swear that came up in my feed at least once a week. I mean, it was like, but you can understand why. That's like ridiculous.
I mean,
right?
these are wild looking, man.
I know. Is there any other mutations in here? There's like a little pie down a little bit further.
Ooh, right here?
Yeah, right there. There's.
I've seen some videos overseas where they're huge.
Yeah, they get some
Like,
big ones.
they're
Did you ever see that video that went around that was the fake Toke Gecko?
It was crawling on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually. Did you ever hear about this?
No, I have
Jake?
no idea what you're talking about.
Just see if you punch up like fake Toke Gecko.
This Toke Gecko was like 5 feet long and just walking across the floor.
Oh, wait. I think I'd seen the image for it. This thing, right?
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
What was it, like CGI?
No, so what happened was they literally took a water monitor and they made a Toke Gecko suit.
Get out of here,
And they
dude.
zipped the suit
You're
up,
fucking
and this thing literally was like, I mean, you can, if you go on the right-hand side.
This one?
And go down a little bit more. Well, that one's not bad actually either. You could punch on that one.
This one?
No, the other one.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
The one you said, yeah, this one. With the circle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was not bad either. I mean, you can see like, but I mean, people thought that was a real Toke. I thought it was a real Toke
You're like,
Gecko.
wow, they're getting big now.
I was like, oh my God, they found it. And I think, I look at this guy right here holding the dang
This one?
Yeah, look at this.
What is this?
I mean, it's crazy. So I don't know why they did it. I
that
don't
a
know if they were
tegu in a
trying to like
Toke Gecko?
scam people. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but literally, this was a Toke suit that was put on a Asian water monitor.
Wow.
So yeah, it was pretty amazing. So, but so Toke Geckos.
Tokes, lychees, one lychee gecko.
Okay.
A cobalt blue tarantula,
Okay,
which we found out not too long ago that if you
you get bit by that.
send you to the hospital. Wife
Yeah.
got bit by it. And
She got bit.
Yeah, she got bit trying to clean out
What
a
happened?
little tunnel.
Yeah. Bring us through that.
I told her to stop just sticking her hand in there, but she didn't want to listen. And the tarantula was like tucked away up under, like hiding on some Spider-Man type of ordeal. And
Right.
she stuck her hand down there trying to move some stuff around. She was like, "It's not down there. It's not down there." Next thing you know, I hear, "Oh, it bit me!" And I was like, "Well, I kind of told you stop sticking your hand in there. You didn't want to listen." So
what were the effects?
at first, her hand swelled, like, because she just got bit by, it tagged her with one fang, so it didn't get both.
Okay.
So when she got tagged, and her first, it just started to swell up.
Really?
It immediately started to swell. And we were taking ice buckets of water, and just kind of, because her hand was getting hot.
Yeah.
So she's sticking her hand in and out of the bucket of water, trying to cool it down. Just, that wasn't working. I was like, if you need to go to the hospital, go to the hospital.
Right.
And then within about an hour and a half later, she crying, just
pain.
pain. She was like, I got to go to the hospital. She gets to the hospital. They hit her with all types of medication, and she comes home like, I'm not doing that again. I was like,
Oh my gosh.
I kind of told you.
Now, did she have to spend any time? I mean, she was just there for a
Like, she
short-
was only there for about an hour, a couple hours
Okay.
or so.
They give her like pain meds or
yeah,
like okay.
fluids and stuff like that, because they were saying that, what was they saying that? Crap, I can't remember. But
Yeah.
she wound up coming home, and finger was still numb for a few days, and she was still like, she couldn't really move it around that
Wow.
much. But again, for everybody, it's different. You know,
Yeah.
some people have different side effects. Some people don't feel it. It's like with tattoos, some people don't feel tattoos. Some people
Yeah.
scream and holler when it comes to tattoos.
Yeah.
But I told her, lesson learned.
Yeah, well, that's a lesson
Yeah,
learned.
you
You
ain't
know? I've seen Bruce take out the Goody Sapphire a couple times, and
Yeah.
I've said the same thing. Like,
Now,
dude, that's just
I've watched her get tagged by an Argus monitor
okay.
on her hand, and it ripped her open.
Oof.
She went. She dropped a piece of chicken in and went to grab the chicken, and the monitor smelled
Yeah.
it and ripped right around her thumb.
Oof.
She didn't even cry for that. She just
Right.
came upstairs. She was like, "He
different.
bit me." I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, the monitor bit me." I was like, "You want to get stitches?" She's like, "Nah." I was like, "All right, run it under some water and pour
That's
some
it.
alcohol on it, and then wrap it up.
Yeah.
You'll be all right." 2
Yeah, I
days
got
later,
lucky.
she was fine.
I got tagged by Elvis once that way, but it got the tips of my finger,
Okay.
so it wasn't like meaty part.
Right.
It hurt like hell.
And you were quick. You went with it.
Yeah,
at
and
least.
I went with it. Like as soon as it grabbed me, Like, and what it was a feeding thing. I was feeding it, and then I went to pet it, and instead of going, I usually go behind its head, pet it forward so it knows, okay, there's no more food. Break that food response. But in this case, I went a little bit, I just was being lazy, and I went forward, and he just grabbed my fingers. And, but yeah, I went right with him. Like, he pulled, and I went with him. Like, I didn't, like, try to resist. And so it was just puncture wounds, no rips, no tears, anything like that. But he hung on for, I mean, it was 10 seconds.
Yeah, but it's
like
scary,
bro.
Yeah,
10 seconds of like,
and that was like right when I started. So like I didn't know. Like I'm like, is he just gonna come up with no fingers on? Like what's going on?
What was funny was,
oh no,
Mister. What are we gonna do?
What was funny was that I was on a tour when this happened. And they were like what 12-year-old boys.
Oh, dude,
like
they were
that.
the best, dude.
And they loved it. They were
all about it.
They thought it was the best thing ever. I mean, the thing that was so amazing was that like I was bleeding like a stuck pig, you know. I mean, I was like, there was blood all over the floor, and I of course went and I wrapped my hand up. I didn't even know how bad it was because I was like, oh my god, this might be a big monitor bite.
But you're like trying to get back to the tour too, you know.
So I just wrapped it up, and the paper towel was just red. And the kids are just petting Elvis.
Yeah, they're already back to it.
They're just petting Elvis, and they're
was
like,
crazy.
Oh. And they laugh, and they're like, and I think I even asked them like, what's the best part of the tour? Like, oh, when you got bit was so awesome, you know. And
thanks for doing that for us, bro.
And it wasn't until we got, because that was like towards the end of the tour, so there was like maybe 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
It wasn't until they left that I unbandaged it, and I thought like I was even thinking like, am I going to need stitches?
Yeah.
You know, it's a big monitor, 5-foot monitor bite, but it wasn't. I mean, it hurt, and there were some pretty deep punctures, but nothing else, so I've been real lucky.
Damn, son.
Can we rail this in?